Guys, welcome to the pre-game show against Geelong. How is everyone? I see the comments section is already popping off. So that's good to see. So let's display some comments and get into it. But first, before we jump into it, we'll do our normal conversation. How's everyone's day? A little bit general conversation. About 10 minutes in, we'll jump into the importance of the game and what we need to do today to win, who to watch out for. We'll also look at the score sources, which Anthony and I introduced last week. And then we'll go into a little bit of the matchups, potential sub talk, see who the sub is. Then we'll roll into the player pass marks as well. If you guys have been tuning in as well, Anthony is currently at the game today. He's actually in the long room. So he'll be having a nice feed. He sent me a photo just before, eating some nice lamb roast and everything. And I see the first comment from Manny. Anthony did show me regarding the Suvas. I am getting a Suva for dinner. Stay around for that. Got it on Uber Eats, so we'll be smacking that later on stream. Even though I had a souvlaki for lunch, and he told me right after it. But look, we move. But hope everyone's well, having a good day. And we'll get into some of the comments here. So Manny goes, Jeremy needs to be stopped. He's always played good against us. They better not F up like last week with Merritt. Look, Jeremy Cameron, I don't know who's going to be able to take him. He's averaging 3.8 goals a game against Collingwood in his 15 games he's played against us. Every time he plays us, he towels us up. We'll jump into it later, but I don't know who's going to take him because he obviously kicks it back. So it's just going to be about limiting what we can do to make him score. He's probably going to at least get 2 today. So hopefully that's not going to be the difference moving into the game. Digsby, brother, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. What are we saying here? Thanks God for Will Hoskin Elliott. Would be absolutely cooked if it wasn't for him and Nick. Been all very, very reliable, the old hyphen and Nick, especially Nick Dacos. Like if we didn't have Nick Dacos, guys, my God, we would be a different football team. So, yeah. What are we saying here? Zach, how are you, mate? I had a bad feeling about this game. Don't worry, mate. Stay positive. Positive mind thoughts, all right? You're going to manifest the win today. We're all going to get G'd up in the pre-game chat. And then we'll come away in the post-game, get the fan cams going, and we'll be happy boys. Okay, Zach? So stay positive on that one. Me and Anthony also alluded to, with Jeremy Cameron, what if someone just snipes him, boys? Like, get one of the subs, one of our fringe players, just to come in and snipe him. Obviously, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there. Like, we wouldn't want to injure a player. But I'm just saying, hey, he's kicked 3.8 goals a game against us every time he plays against us. 7 goals the last time he played against us. Back in the day in the 90s, boys, someone would just line him up and just take him out. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Footy has changed, but I'm saying if this was in the 90s, potentially. What are we saying here as well? Digsby, Jez one. Yeah, we'll go. We keep it moving. Digsby, I got a good feeling, and Phil Rowan will plotter around like a fast old man. Digsby again, side bottom. What else are we, boys? Jackson, hello. Craig, howdy. Manny, Yassel there, how are you? Benny Parsons, the man. Evening, champs. He'll be by the coach's box, hopefully. Yep. Yeah, champ will be by the coach's box. He looks like he's having a good time, I'm sure. He'll come swoop in towards the end of the not the end of the fan camp. So hopefully we're gonna get him sometime in. So he's gonna be leaving the game afterwards. Hopefully Anthony hasn't had too many beers, but we will see. We'll see. Mike, what's up? We'll just get through some of the comments before we jump in there. George, mate, how are you? How's your day? Cameron was a Collingwood supporter when he was young. Oh no, shit, didn't know that. He tells us up though, so he's kind of dead to me, but that's all right. Yeah, I agree with this. Stinks. I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, bit tough on Dean to get dropped. I actually thought he was really finding his feet, especially in that third quarter last week. He had 6 disposals in that third quarter. It was really, really good to see. He was finding his feet. Then he gets subbed out. Then he gets dropped. I think it's a little bit of hard done by. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and I'm sure the selection panel has their reasons why. But I was definitely surprised about that one. Matty, how are you, mate? Need to bring the pressure for 4 quarters. Backline needs to tighten up, and the game's ours. Exactly right. Stole the words from my mouth. We just need a full 4-quarter performance today. So that's what we need to come for. What else do we have? Geelong goes in confident. Collingwood needs to make them realize very early they will be up against the most fury intensity, which could destabilize their mindset. And then they just are a bit off. Agree. We just need to come in, be confident, and play the footy that we've come to know in the past. So we'll back ourselves in. Oh, who else have we got here? Mark, how are you, mate? Ready for a win? Bloody oath, we're ready for a win. We're overdue. We're not doing the watch along today, but I'll be watching the game, looking for certain players for our pie performers on the week, for Monday night, I should say. And we'll come back positive, all ready to go, ready for fan cams, ready for the results after the game, after a good, much-needed win, because we definitely need a win. Matty with another donation. Thank you, mate. Unbelievable. He goes, how are you, Caleb? Enjoy the year, bro. Go get some dessert after the game, and when we win, need this. We got Hawthorn and Richmond next week. Definitely there. Maybe have some Lookamatas. Absolutely unbelievable. If you guys haven't had Lookamatas before, they're like little Greek donuts. If you want to know why I know so much about Greek culture, obviously Anthony's Greek, but I pretty much went to a Greek school, so I'm pretty much adopted Greek. But yeah, Lookamatas, if you hadn't had them, definitely have them. Give them a shot. Absolutely love it. Benny Parsons, did you hear the VFL game has moved to the AIA Centre? Yes, I just saw that pop up on Instagram. That's good for you guys keeping me up to date as well. Joe, how are you, mate? I'm still upset over last week, but after that hard loss, but you guys got the win, well deserved. But yeah, going good, mate. Thanks. I reckon the Pies footy show might look a little bit better with just me in it. But we'll see how we bounce back tonight. I watched a little bit of bits and pieces of the podcast from the other day, guys. If you guys don't know Joe runs the Fancast AFL footy show. Give them a look up. Me and Anthony did a podcast with them last week. Great blokes behind there. Great location. A lot of historics behind it. The guys know their footy. So, boys, definitely give them a shout out and give them a watch. Yeah, Manny, there. Stop sending money. Save it for the TVs, all right? I want to see, Manny, what will happen? What will cause you to break a TV there? Tell me. Theon, how are you, mate? Where are you today? Suzuka, what's the weather like? What is the temperature? Give me the heat check. Who else? Benny, TV conversations. I just love how this is an ongoing thing in the Pies footy chat. But yeah, absolutely piss up. Before we get into it, appreciate everyone on. Mike, Mick, I should say, I'll pop up your comments. Early prediction, Pies by 15. Josh D to get 30 plus disposals and 2 goals. Yeah, definitely get to see. We'll see how it goes. Especially, should be fully recovered from that calf injury or corky from last week. So we'll see. All right, boys and girls, if there are any. I doubt it. But the importance of the game today, it's essentially an 8-point game for us. Like, we are much needed for us to win today. Geelong, what are they playing for? Well, they're currently 5th. They are pushing for a top 4 spot. So they're going to be ready to go. We're going to have to combat that. Where are the Pies currently? Well, we're slipping. We all know we're slipping, which isn't ideal. So we're currently 9th. The matchups are kind of a little bit in our favor. Like, I don't think many teams will beat us. Gold Coast, I reckon, will lose to Port. Even though they're playing up in Gold Coast, I think we'll still hover around that 9th, 10th place, even if we do lose. But obviously, we need to get the dub. We need to get the win and push us up back into the 8. So it's very, very vital. Melissa, I just see your comment. At least we got one female. But that's what we're playing for, right? We're really trying to push into the 8. So much win today, bounce back, show some good signs. The biggest thing for us today is, are we able to pull together a full performance? We saw last week against, Joey's Essendon's team that they, Collingwood started out, and like Manny said, we're playing champagne footy. First quarter, absolutely unrivaled, unmatched, playing fast flowing footy. Just seemed like everything was just, touching gold. Right, every time we touched the ball, we were scoring. The disposals was clean. The energy was up and about. Then for two quarters, I should say, 3 quarters, we just played garbage footy. Right, really slowed down. Didn't really play good inside 50 looks, and we can't afford that today. A game of footy is about momentum, and obviously, when we have momentum, we need to do everything we can to hit the scoreboard and put up and pile points on the board, right? What we also need to do is, when the footy is going against us, because, guys, footy isn't always a smashing. When you go out first quarter, you score 30 points, they score 2 goals. You go out into the second quarter, you pile on another 40 points. A game of footy isn't ever like that traditionally, right? You're not just going to come in and smash your team in all areas. It's normally going to be games of momentum. So there's going to be points today that Geelong will come back at us, but it's what we need to do to manage those moments, right? Slow the game down if they're getting on top of us, or pick up the pace if we need to hit the scoreboard. So that's what we need to do today. Just, if the game's going against us, let's just slow it down and play some contested footy until we can play the footy the way we want to play. So that's kind of what we need to do to full performance. I know we had a good start, but I don't know, boys. I actually don't know this year how we can cast it all together. I would like to get your guys' thoughts in the comments on what you think we can do to pull a full game together, because obviously 2 weeks ago we said we need to start the game better. We need to come out and fire. Last week against Essendon, we thought we fixed that. We come out, first quarter performance, absolutely amazing. Then we fizzled away. Generally, we play our good footy, third and fourth quarter. I don't think this year, guys, if I'm being completely honest, besides that Port game that we won by a lot, that we have played a full 4-quarter performance. So I don't know what that's going to take today for us just to pull it together, but I'm praying, because we need a win. So I'll get into a little bit of the comments, and then we'll cycle back onto what we kind of need to do to win, and where's the game's going to be won and lost. Benny Parsons, I think Josh Dacos will better. I do agree as well. Benny nursing that little bit of calf. He didn't really look 100% like he did last week, but I reckon he'll find his form. Manny, no effort. TV will get absolutely destroyed. It's okay to lose, but must fight for 4 quarters. Absolutely right. Just need to, get that effort in and don't go into our shell. So we'll see what happens there. Captain Qual, would think more females would be here with Kayla's majestic looks. You're too kind, mate. Too kind. Theo, have to tag Stuart tonight. That is a must. I will be touching on that a little bit later on, guys. So stay tuned for that. But that mastermind to put him into the midfield the last 2 weeks seems to be working quite well. I feel like we kind of trialed that last week with IQ on the wing. I don't know if he goes back out onto the wing today. I said to Anthony, and I said it, one of the early Pies footy episodes, that I want to see IQ out on the wing because how athletic he is. And, with some time with his footy, he can make good decisions. And I saw him on the wing. He had that really good link-up play where he got that goal assist to Howe within like the first 5 minutes to set up Collingwood's first goal last week. And I honestly thought, hey, this is another Tom Stewart kind of situation where we've just pulled a mastermind situation with IQ. Like, hey, this wing position is really going to work out. And then, unfortunately, that was the only thing we saw from IQ on the weekend. But I'm still wanting to see that experiment happen a little bit more throughout the season. I don't know if it happens today, but we will see all in due time. Benny Parsons getting back to the pressure, which is the Pies DNA, was missing a bit last week, so that would be awesome. Jamie Elliott helps with that. Can't let Dangerfield loose because he's still a great player. absolutely right. Jamie Elliott today coming back in is a huge in for us, even though we've got Checkers out. But Elliott's, definitely a great in. I would like to see how he gets back from injury, but we'll see how he bounces around. Melissa, must win. Completely agree. And have our backs against the wall mentality all game. Need to play a full game. Exactly right. Just need to string it together for full 4 quarters. Sports fan, g'day, Geelong supporters. We bring everyone in. Doesn't matter your supporter base. You drop in, say g'day, we say g'day back. The fans, some of the viewers might get at you, but nah, it's all good and all love. So good. Oh, another female in the chat. G'day, Becky. How are ya? How's your day been? Been good. I don't see Geelong getting away at all because Collingwood got a great record versus Geelong. I think in the finals, though, Geelong do have a better record against Collingwood. I might be mistaken, but I think you guys have our number when it comes to the finals time. Captain Cole, we're on a roll 2 games in a row. We're on a roll, 2 lost games and a draw, and we are slipping. Got to be our best. Exactly right. It's all about rebounding and seeing how we go. North Clare, Maynard should be the man on Cameron. You actually stole that from my mouth. I've got that in my notes to discuss a little bit later on, but we'll discuss that in the matchup category of the pregame show. Team Mallow, brother, how are you? Another veteran fan of the Pies footy. Always on. G'day, mate. How are you? Hope your day was good. Caleb, you give me Antono with your looks. I don't know who that is. Maybe should I know? I'm not too sure. Team Mallow, Richard Sub, I assume. Let me actually look up who that person. Antonio Bernardes. Antonio Bernardes. And I've absolutely misspelled that. Whoa, hey, no. You can't be. I don't look like him, do I? Or was that when, nah. Surely not. I feel like I've just been violated. That is. I'm going to have to take this offline with Anthony, but that is pisser, Joe. Look, if I turn out to be 60 and look like him, I'll take that as a win. But if you're saying I look like him right now, it's getting a bit dicey here. It's getting a bit dicey. Team Mallow, Richard Sub, I assume. Maybe could be Reef, could be Harvey Harrison, but you probably are right with Joe Richard. We'll discuss that a little bit later. If it was me, I would tell the boys to go to last year's game style, attack from our half-back line and see if they can stop us. I would agree. And look, our defensive half rebounding scores have been a lot better the last 5 games, but we don't have the same cattle of fish to, really excel and off the half back line. We don't have Jack Crisps there. We don't have Nick Dacos there anymore. Those two are playing predominantly in the midfield. So we do need someone with a little bit more class and ball movement. We're going to get Thomas McGon next year, who's playing at Keilor tomorrow. I just saw he's listed there to play in the EDFL. But he's a midfielder that can roll into the forward line, but he could also be an experiment where we do put him in the half back line. He is a good ball user. Maybe he could play off the half back line, and much like Nick Dacos and Sheasel, that could be a position for him. But a high half forward role as well with him could be good. Hopefully we can pick someone up in the trade more in the what I want out of the key trade period would be a key back or a key forward. I think that's what our most needs are, because we're going to get Thomas McGon as a midfielder in next year's draft. So we'll see there. All right. We'll get into what do we need to do to win today. So where it's going to be won and lost is our defensive structure. Is quite an obvious one, right? So we've saw last week, our structure was a little bit off, What we can't afford to do is we have to have pressure up the ground, and really swamp the players to force Geelong into a bad decision and rushing the kick into their inside 50, right? What Geelong are really good, guys, are they're second in the league for marks within 50. So they mark the ball a hell of a lot inside 50. So that is going to be an issue with us. Why is that going to be an issue? Because our defenders are way too loose. Our key backs, I know we play a zone, but there's got to be a time where you go man on, and that needs to be identified with the Collingwood defenders. Like, I can only speak from my experience of playing, but when we do a zone, we zone up, and then, from about the halfway point, you go man on. And I feel like that's what Collingwood needs to do, is they need to go man on. And, if I'm Darcy Moore and I'm on Cameron, after a zone, I'm not trying to find more. I'm not trying to find Cameron. He might be 20 meters away. I'm just finding the closest Geelong forward next to me, and I'm clamping him up. So that's what I think we need to do, in just tighten up the zone, because I feel like our backs are always out of position and guarding space. And if they are near a Geelong forward, they're out of position. They're either in front, and you see it a lot with Franton. He will give away a free, or Darcy Moore as well. They'll give away a free, trying to jostle for position because they are out of position, and they give away a free. So we can't afford that today, because Geelong will slice us up. So there's two things. We need to obviously apply pressure up the ground for our zone to work. And secondly, we need to get man on more around the ground. Like, not more around the ground, but when that kick comes in, we all can't be loose, which has been out of position, right? Another thing is we can't all fly for the footy. And look, I know I said I was going to get a video out. I will be getting a video out. I'm just compiling videos together of Collingwood mistakes in defense in particular. So what another thing is we saw it last week. I think it was Charlie Dean, Darcy Moore, and another Collingwood defender. They all fly up for the footy, and then the ball flows out the back, right? Because they're all trying to spoil the footy. One of them has to stay down. So with a good Geelong forward line, we can't all just fly at the footy. It's been a mistake that we've been doing numerous times throughout the year. So that's one thing that we need to get better at moving forward. So to recap, defensive structure needs to tighten up. Another thing is our forward entry method. All right. So forward entry method is a must. Last week against Essendon, we were kicking the ball either too high or to like a Bobby Hill on a key to medium-sized defender, and we were way too shallow. It wasn't good looks, right? So we're getting guys like Reef McInnes who are very quick, much like Myercheck, that can be a really good lead hit-up footy target, and we've got Krugs in there as well. So they're going to be hit-up targets, and we need to be hitting these guys lace out, because if we don't, guys, Geelong are the top team for intercept marks in the last 5 games. All right, I'll repeat that. Geelong, top team, ranked number 1 for intercept marks. All right, so they're currently averaging 20.2 intercept marks in the last 5. So if we give shit ball method into the forward line and we just bomb it high, they're just going to pick us apart, or even up the ground. If we're not careful with the way we move the ball and we kind of just get it booted down the line, they are going to take intercept marks and then rebound the footy the other way. So that's something that we really need to keep an eye out for. For a comparison, in our last 5 games, Collingwood is ranked in the bottom 5. And we're currently averaging 14.8 intercept marks. So that's a little bit of comparison between Geelong, which is the top team, 20.2 in the last 5, ranked 3rd for the season, and Collingwood, who have been averaging 14.8 intercept marks and are bottom 5. So for that, let me just do the quick little math. 14.8 divided by 4. That's 3.7 intercept marks a game. Whereas last year we were very good. I know Moore's intercept marks numbers are down. We don't have Murphy, but you got to think about 3 intercept marks when your whole system of a zone is meant to implement guys like Darcy Moore to come across and intercept the ball, it means it's not working. So today, our two primary focuses are forward entry movement, lowering the eyes, hitting a good target, and not letting Geelong intercept the ball because they are a top team for that, and our defensive structure. So making sure that we're tight when we need to be, applying pressure up the ground, because Geelong are the second most team rated for inside 50 marks. All right, so something that we need to really keep an eye out for today. All right, Chad says big game for Krugs. Definitely, he'll have a good job today in the forward line, and he'll probably pinch hit as well in the ruck. Melissa agrees with the key defense and tall forwards for next year. What else? Kruger needs to ruck well and be the tall forward. Yeah, he does. I really do like how Kruger knows what his strengths are in the ruck. You know, when I looked at the stats the other week, yes, he's only winning 1 out of 4 taps, whereas Mason Cox wins 1 out of 2, and Darcy Cameron is about 40-something% for rucks, just ruck hit wins. So Krug's at 25% is quite low, but he plays to his strength. He knows, hey, I'm 6'5", I'm not as tall as these other guys. I'm not going to be able to out jump them or out roughcraft them. But what am I? I am a solid key forward who's tall and powerful. So what he does is he just takes front position or side position and just fucking takes positioning and bumps them out of the way. And that's his strength. So that's how he's going to win stoppages around the ground. And I do like that about him as well. Another thing that Anthony alluded to, and what I also said a few weeks ago about Kruger potentially playing in the back line. At Geelong, he was tried as a defender. They really liked how relentless he was, how his aggression was, and how quick he was. And that's why, you know, in a world that I'm fly, I'm thinking, hey, Jeremy Cameron is kicking 3.8 goals against us every time he plays against us. He's kicked 7 goals last time. We don't have someone who's 6'5", who's explosive enough to keep up with him. Darcy Moore's not quick enough to keep up with Cameron. Franzen is definitely not quick enough to stay with him. Bruzzy, yes, he's quick enough and probably is strong enough, but he's 6'2". Jeremy Cameron's 6'5". Who's 6'5", explosive, and knows traits of playing against Geelong because he was part of Geelong is Krugs, right? Being a defender, you're training with these guys day in, day out. You're doing your forward versus defender drills every day at training. He probably knows some tendencies of Jeremy Cameron, and that would be a really good matchup to see if I was Fly. And like, hey, the best thing about it is you're going to pick Krugs in the forward line anyway. Darcy Moore's, you know, I don't think he's obviously out of form, but I still want him to keep in the back line. But hey, what's the damage of switching Moore, put him in the forward line for 15 minutes, put Krugs on Jeremy Cameron, see how he goes. And hey, if it doesn't work, fair enough. At least we gave it a shot. But you can always flip them back because, you know, they're quite interchangeable in that sense. And look, it could be a mastermind. You could have egg in your face afterwards. But hey, at least you're giving it a shot when you really need to roll the dice in the season. So if I was Fly, I'd still start Krugs in the forward line, Darcy Moore in the back line. But if Cameron was slicing a potential matchup in Bruzzy, because he's 6'2", maybe getting outmarked, hey, let's just smash the glass, put Krugs in the back line, put Moore in the forward line. See what happens. We know Moore can read the ball and take great aerial overhead marks. What do we have to lose at that stage? So that's a scenario where it's like 3/4 down. Cameron might be on his 3rd goal, 4th goal, and really looking dangerous. That's when I would like to see that move. But I've gone on a little bit of a tangent. I would like to see what you guys think about that scenario and get some engagement there. But I'll get through a little bit of more of these comments. Team Mello, our system is based off pressure and speed, so hopefully we maintain it for 4 quarters. Fucking oath. It's all about pressure and system-based play, and we just really need to stay on top of that. Yeah, Chris, it feels like sometimes we don't lay the tackles, but And it's hard with guys like Bo out who are great pressure players and tackle players. So, yeah, look, we'll come out and lay some tackles, I reckon, though. Benny Parsons, if Collingwood have conceded goals and the Cats have momentum, I don't think the boys should rush the attack. Build it up, control possession if need to be, and go from there. Exactly. Sometimes, that look inside 45 is on and you can go quick. But if that kick's not on, we can chip the ball up. I think we did that very well the other week. I'm just pulling a blank on who we played 2 weeks ago. Who did we play 2 weeks ago, guys? Yeah, it was Gold Coast. I believe in the third quarter, we got better at just chipping the ball up, a little bit of tick leads. So, yeah, that's something that I'd like to see us get a little bit better at. Kev, g'day. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to the show. Love having you on here. North Clare, you should open footy cards. That's more Anthony's thing. I'll leave it to him. Danny, no, I'm not going to the game. Kieran only had one ticket available. He said, hey, Anthony, you go. And I'm stuck here with the lovely viewers. But, hey, it's not too bad. Jim of the Jimbos, nice summary, mate. Cheers, mate. How are you? How's your Friday going? Hopefully your Friday can get a lot better with a Collingwood win today. Get a couple more before we get into some score sources. Jigger Chad, if he doesn't mark, he just gets it to ground as well. I'm assuming that is about Kruger. I agree with that. What are we going? Go Pies, a couple of these guys. Digsby just 8. Here we go, Benny. What are you saying? Would Kruger roll back in defense for the last 5 minutes of each quarter, or is that too conservative? Look, like I said, I feel like that is like a break glass type situation. So if Jeremy Cameron is up and about, based off size and matchup and athletic ability, I think Kruger can go back and do a job on him. And then put more forward. So that could be a potential move, which also kind of swings into Stab's comment is, do we swing more forward? I think we could see that. I doubt it. I don't think the odds are too high. But all I'm saying is, guys, if you see Jeremy Cameron toweling up Brazzy, I reckon Brazzy will do a good job. And we might as well get into the matchups. So I've got Jeremy Cameron versus the Braz. Jeremy Cameron's 6'5". We know he's quite athletic and quick. He is too quick for guys like Frampton and Moore. And you can see that historically he tallied us up 7 goals last time we played him in a very strong Collingwood side last year that went on to win the premiership, right? Then the Braz, 6'2", we'll see how it goes. Overhead and mark, that's where Brazzy could lose out on, even though he can play a little bit bigger because how physical he is. But we will see how that kind of rolls out and sees. All I'm saying is, if that doesn't work, if Brazzy can't limit Cameron's impact today, all I'm saying is let's just swing more forward. Hey, get in the forward line. Let's see what you can do. And then get Kruger on Cameron, old teammate, both 6'5", both athletic. And just go from there. That's all I'm saying. That's the Pies footy. You heard it here first. If it happens, we look like geniuses. And another thing, if it just doesn't work, that's fine. Just switch them back. So I know I've harped on it about it a little bit, but that's my take on things. So that's going to be another one. What I also really keen to see as well is Tom Stewart in the middle. I think Tom Stewart for Geelong playing in the midfield the last few weeks, 2 weeks to be exact, has been a stroke of genius. He's very defensively minded. Granted, he is a defender, but he's also been showing signs to get his own footy. Last week against Hawthorn, he got 26 disposals, 9 contested possessions. He also got 3 clearances, I should say, and spent about 72% of his time attending the centre bounces, which is, almost a career high for him. Obviously, doesn't play much in the midfield, but obviously been a stroke of genius there. And then against Essendon, where they did trial this for the first time, 23 disposals, 9 contested possessions, 83 centre bounce attendances. So that is interesting. Another thing, guys, actually a little bit off topic, but does anyone remember Braden Maynard having his endeavours to play in the midfield? I would like to say 2 years ago. I was going back on Instagram looking at this old gym I used to trade at. Shout out Pulse 8, where they, Maynard and Howe and a lot of these AFL league guys train out. He had endeavours back then. There was a whole news article of his endeavours to play in the midfield. I'm just saying, he's getting, he's about 26 now. It could, if he gets fit enough, I wouldn't mind Bruzzy in there, see him in the guts, maybe it would have to be off the off season so he gets fully healthy. But hey, we've seen it trialed a few times. Could be a little bit of a Tom Stewart move. That's all I'm saying. But back to Tom Stewart. Who is he going to match up on? I reckon there's a world where we'll see Tom Stewart on Degoe tonight. What do you guys reckon? You reckon there'll be a good matchup? Stewart could potentially roll around to Nick Dacos. But I think Nick Dacos is just that little bit too classy, too slick, too quick for him. But I could see a very contested battle in the middle with Degoe and Tom Stewart. So that's what I want to see in the middle and see how those two, kind of play off each other. I think Degoe needs to bounce back off last week's performance as well. Didn't have the best game. Let me just pull up his stats again from last week. So let me look at Degoe as I pull this up. What did he have? 19 disposals, right? If I recall, he was probably averaging last 4 games before last week, he was averaging high 20 disposal games. So that was obviously a little bit of a downer, not as good. And what else did he have? Let me just pull this way. 3 intercept marks, 7 contested balls, 3 inside 50. Did he have any goals? No goals. So I reckon Degoe probably comes back and bounce back today and see how we go. Because we need him. We need Degoe to fire. We need Nick Dacos, better disposal efficiency. Last week ran at 41% disposal efficiency, career low. But he still had 12 clearances, which is huge. It was the most by far last week. So we need to see how he lifts today as well. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Chad says, confused about Dean being dropped. Me too. I thought he was finding his feet last week, and to get dropped in the third quarter when he was having the best quarter, second most disposals in the quarter besides Sidey for Collingwood. Very, very funny to see that, why he would be dropped and subbed out of the game at that point. Matty, everyone is forgetting about Dangerfield. He needs to be stopped in the centre bounces. It's crucial. He's one of it's crucial. He's the one that gets them forward. Yeah, exactly right. We need to see how we limit Dangerfield. I think that's a good matchup with the old heads, with the craft around the middle, with a Pendles and a Dangerfield. So I'd really like to see how those two kind of play off each other in the guts there. Would it be worth trying Noble in the middle for a bit tonight? I just don't think Noble, I don't know about I guess his running capacity is okay, but I don't think Noble's got that polish to be in the midfielder position. So I wouldn't like to see that in the middle. Could be sorry guys. I was going to try and entertain the idea, but not really. I do like Noble on the wing. He's quite quick, but I don't think him inside will do any good as an inside or like just in the guts in the midfielder position. Stab goes, we need a big body in the middle with Titch out. Wouldn't mind seeing Brazil or IQ in there. Well, that's why we've got Ned Long in, guys. So Ned Long is a big-bodied midfielder. He's 6'3", 6'4". He came on last week, played excellent for the amount of minutes he was on the field. Let me just look at it again to see what he did while he was on. So when Ned Long was on, he got 9 disposals. Let me just pull it this way. 9 disposals when he was on the ground. 66.7% disposal efficiency. But the big thing about Ned Long when he was on, he had the 4 score involvements and the 1 goal assist, which is huge. So excited to see what he does. But he's traditionally a midfielder. So yes, he played in the half forward role last week, but expect today for him to roll through the middle and be that big body inside mid. Kind of like a Lockie Sullivan type situation where Lockie Sullivan wasn't inside mid, but he was small. Ned Long is quite big, kind of like who would be a Paddy Crisp, like kind of like a Paddy, I guess, not as in the sense of like a big bodied inside mid. I don't know if he's got the same ceiling as him or career potential, but I think that's kind of a good comparison on Ned Long coming in and doing a job in the middle. Sidey in the middle isn't a bad choice. Look, Sidey, credit to him when he played in the midfield the other week. I think it was North, if my memory serves me correctly. Did a really good job. But my biggest thing with Sidey is, okay, he had a cracker performance last week, guys. But is he going to be able to back it up this week? Because historically, Sidey has one good game every 4 games, which is unfortunate. I know he's getting to the end of his career, so I'm not going to, harp on it a little bit too much. But I think that's something that we really need Sidey to lift, especially getting to this pointy end of the season, that he can't be having a good game once every 4. So hopefully today he backs off the game that he had against Essendon last week and rolls into this week. What else have we have? Forgot about Ned Long. He looks really good with his tackling. Exactly right. Exactly right. Just announced Reef is the sub. Okay, let me just double check that. Let me pull that on the app because I was actually had a segment about who was going to be the sub, but that's all right. We've been yapping away, so that hasn't been too bad. Let me pull this up 1 sec. And we've got the champ live and direct. Don't worry, champ. I know that's in there. I just haven't pulled it up yet. I haven't pulled it up. So let me look at the teams. You are correct. So Ollie Henry is the sub for Geelong, and Reef McInnes is the sub for Collingwood. That is interesting because I thought Myercheck and Reef would be the direct replacement. Reef McInnes, what does he provide for us? He provides a marking target up the ground. So, and he plays a lot like Myercheck. He's averaging, last time I checked, he was averaging 1.6 goals a game. So not having in when we need a bigger bodied forward is interesting. I'm just looking at the forward line now. Listed, we have Bobby Hill, Harvey Harrison, Lockie Schultz, Jamie Elliott, Lipinski, Ned Long. And then on the interchange, we have Krugs there and Joe Richards. So I think when the game starts, because they always throw off the what do? They always throw off the lineups. So I don't believe Harrison will start at that centre half forward position. Kruger will be there. So pretty much that will put the big marking target on Krugs, and then Reef will have to be coming on as a sub probably in that 3rd, 4th quarter. So essentially for our key kind of taller forwards, that's all we have is in Krugs. And obviously Jamie Elliott is there, but I would have much liked to see Reef come in and play as that key forward marking target up the ground as well. Maybe, guys, just maybe we alluded to our forward entry method. And if you guys weren't here early on, I'll just repeat it really quickly. Geelong is the top team for intercept marks. All right. They're currently averaging 20.2 in the last 5 games. So they're number 1 in the AFL. For the season, they're 3rd. All right. What that means is they can intercept the ball by setting up really well defensively. Maybe we're just going to try burn them out the back. That's my first thought, because we've got all these small, zippy guys. Maybe if we can suck them up the ground, and if we get a long kick in, then we're going to try burn them on the way back, which we did a lot last year. That's the only reason why I don't see Reef in, but that is a very, I don't know, not questionable. I'm sure there's a method to the madness, but we will go from there. Anyway, guys, we talked about some selections and things like that. Let me pull up the score sources. All right. Give it 1 second, guys. Boom. All right. So we talked about what do we do to win? We talked about the sub being Reef McInnes. A little bit, not as much as probably wanted to, but hey, not too bad. This is the last 5 matches on how each team has scored. So in the green is what Collingwood or Geelong has done well, and in the red is obviously bottom 5 stat. All right, or bottom 6 stat, I should say. All right, so what has Collingwood been good at? Well, guys, you see, we've been scoring 38 points, which ranks us for defensive half transition. Whereas if you look at us statistically for the year, we're ranked between that 10 and 15 mark, maybe even lower. I'm just speaking off the top of the head. So you can see in the last few weeks, this has swung back in our way. What I don't like about this stat is that stat of 38 points does not highlight the amount of times we have conceded inside 50s against us. So Gold Coast had 68 inside 50s against us, and Essendon last week had a shit ton of inside 50s against us as well. So that's why I believe that defensive number is a little bit higher. And yeah, don't worry, we'll kick that guy out, guys. Don't worry. But that's why I think that has started to swing the other way. All right, what has Geelong done? Well, their forward half pressure is quite good. They're 48.4, which is what we've been good at quite recently. But they're quite good at scoring off turnovers. So they score about 56 points, which makes them 6th in the league. Now, that is what we want to stop them today by not allowing them to take intercept marks against us. And guys, I just got my Uber Eats delivery. Even though I had a massive Suva for lunch. How's this, Ref? How's this, Matty? Huh? How's that, Ref? Cheers for the Suva. Very much appreciated to our number 1 supporter, Manny. Galani, oh no, Galani, the Kani is there. There we go. I give that a 10 out of 10. So, damn, that was actually real good super. But yeah. Where's the man sitting? The man is sitting right behind the coach's box. So you might see his big head on screen. But yeah, boys. Where are we again? For against defensive half, right? So going back to the score sources. For them, their one would be their scores off turnover, ranked 6th in the league, 56 points, right? Against they are getting scored against the least by defensive half transitions, which we have seen that has become our one wood in the last 5 weeks. See that as much as you would. I still believe our forward half pressure is still our number one score source when you look at it at a season level, but also just due to our defensive half scores would be up because we were playing sides like Geelong and Essendon where they were just hounding us and getting repeat 50s a lot. So that's why that would be the case. So this is where it's going to be won and lost. Are we going to still be able to defend and score off the ball? Or how do we stop that? How do we stop them being able to score off the turnover and then limit our defensive half run? So that is that. That Savlaki bite has absolutely given me the hiccups, but that's okay. We move. Let me go back into the full screen. Now, the game, what time does the game start? Is it 7:20, guys, or is it 7:40? I should know this. 48 minutes. I reckon we'll keep this going a little bit more. And we've also actually got to do the pass marks today, guys. So I'm gonna read out the players that I've got the pass marks for. And I want you guys to comment on what you guys believe the players' pass marks should be. And then I'll give my feedback as well on what I want to see today. All right. So the first player, actually, we'll do it like this. I've just come to me. What is the pass mark today for this man right here? Billy Frampton. Well, boys, didn't have a good performance last week, did he? But where is he going to play? I reckon he'll still play in the back line. What do we need to see from him today? We just need to see him give a little bit of fucking something, right? We just need to get him to get a couple of touches, stop his man, and just play the footy that he was able to play early on in the season. When he came back, I think it was like round 5 or 6, he played really good. If you guys remember, if you guys been around Pies footy, me and Anthony were saying, is Frampton better than Darcy Moore? That is a serious discussion we had for about 20, 30 minutes. We full discussed, is he better? Then he got swung in the forward line, had to play ruck after Coxie got injured, and he's swung back into the back line and has not found his feet. At all. He's kind of lost his intercept markability. What I want to see from Frampton today, and this is going to be a realistic pass mark. All right, let me pull up the man's stats quickly and we can discuss. I just want from him at least 10 disposals from the man. All right, let me go Frampton. Sorry, guys, I was pulling up some information. And then we will go from there with the pass marks. And then after the pass marks, we'll talk a little bit, talk some general yippee yapper, and then we'll call it a day. All right, and I'll see you guys for the post game. But in his last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In his last 5 games, he's had 3 intercept marks. 2 of those being against the Gold Coast, all right, when they hounded us in. What I want to see from Frampton today, right, is form like when he came in round 2 and took 5 intercept marks against St Kilda. That following week in round 3, took 3 intercept marks. Round 4, 4 intercept marks, right? He needs to bloody lift, all right? I'm not saying he's going to get 5. I want 2 intercept marks from the man, 2 intercept marks, 10 touches, all right? 10 disposals. That is Billy Frampton's pass mark today, guys. 2 intercept marks, 10 touches. Is that unreasonable? All right? We will see. All right, next player. I did have Reef McInnes thinking he would start, but we'll skip over that one. But for James, actually no, we'll touch on Reef. Reef pass mark. I want Reef to still come on and score 1 goal. Now, Reef has scored every game he's been in, even though he's been a sub. All right. I know last week, guys, Reef I think he only got like 4 touches in the VFL, but AFL is different, and then the ball movement's a lot cleaner. So I think that suits him a lot more with him being a hit up forward. I reckon he still comes in and does 1 mark, regardless of the time he comes in. Would I like to see him in the midfield? Yes, but I don't think we see him in the midfield today, guys. So Reef McInnes, 1 goal. That's his pass mark. All right. Now, the juicy topic that I know everyone's thinking about. What is the pass mark today for this man? What is the pass mark for Darcy Moore, the captain? What do we want to see from Darcy Moore? Well, let's look at his last few games, Darcy Moore, and we'll go from there. Obviously, we want to see that intercept mark going. He was averaging, last time I checked, 8.6 spoils and 2.5 intercept marks. All right. What is he actually? Let me see what he's averaging at the moment. Darcy Moore this season. Let's see if his intercept marks have climbed. Still averaging 2.5 intercept marks. So I'm still on there. And his spoils are 8.4. My God, I am good. But in all seriousness, Darcy Moore was better in some cases last week. What I want to see from the captain is another game where he has 3 intercept marks like he did last week. But I just want him to slow it down at times. I feel like he's leaving his man way too much to come across and punch the ball, which he doesn't need to do. I also think he just needs to have a little bit of faith in the people around him. Examples, your Framptons, your Maynards, your Quaynors, your Nobles. I feel like he impacts the game when he doesn't need to. And like you're saying, Digsby, he leaves his man. And that's what I'm saying is he doesn't always have to make a big impact and leave his man. Like if you think you can make the fucking play and intercept the ball or punch it, then do so. But not when not when you're 15 meters away, man. You're not that fucking quick. Like, hey, relax there. You can't run that quick. So I want him to just be smart with the way he decides to leave his man and intercept the ball. I want to see him today 3 intercept marks, and I want to see like an 18 disposal game. All right, so I'm going 3 intercept marks and 18 disposals. And I want to see some meters gained. I want to see him slice open the game. You know, when he takes the kick-ins and he just slices the ball open. So that's what I want to see today from Darcy Moore. What do you guys think? 18 disposals, 3 intercept marks. Is there another stat we want to look at? Not really. I'm not too sure. Manire, I know. I'm gonna jump off the silver. I'm gonna jump off in like 5-10 so I can eat the silver there. Very appreciate the donation again. All right. What you got? Very true. Very true. But this leads me into the man that I will believe will play on Jeremy Cameron today. I think Maynard will start and play against Cameron. 6'2" versus 6'5". Yes, there's a little bit of a height disparity there, but we need someone quick to keep up with him. And I believe Maynard, even though he's 6'2", and it is kind of similar height, but I reckon I can back him in to take a mark or not take a mark, just spoil the ball. So I think Maynard will do a good job on Jezza. I think for Maynard, his pass mark today is just limit Cameron's impact on the game. Not necessarily he's got a benchmark for disposals or anything like that. I just want him to limit Cameron to 2 goals. If Maynard can keep Jeremy Cameron to 2 goals, that is a huge performance. Like 7 goals the last time he's played us, averaging 3.8 goals every time he plays against us. If he limits him to 2, that is an unbelievable performance by Maynard. If it's not 2 goals, I think we'll give him the pass mark as 3 goals, limiting him to 3 goals. But 2 goals is like really good. So that's Maynard's pass mark. One more thing is Jamie Elliott, guys. What do you want to see Jamie Elliott today? What do you want to see him, and what's his pass mark? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you want to see Jamie Elliott's pass mark? What do you want to see this man? Do you want to see another hanger today? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Wow. We'll see some comments. Digsby, 2 goals, 2 snags. I reckon that would be good. 2 goals. Another 2 goals by James. Very true. Very true, Manny. Jim, 1 goal and 4 goal assists. I don't mind it. 4 goal assists will be huge. But let's go 1 goal, 2 goal assists, 2 score involvements, I reckon. But yeah, we got to factor in he is coming back from an injury, and he's been out for numerous weeks. 2 to 3 goals, 5 tackles. I love it, Chad. Let's go with the consensus of 2 goals for Jamie. And we'll mention this again in the post-game show, guys. 2 goals. We'll go 3 tackles. This is starting to look like a big game, and a couple of score involvements. All right. So let's do a quick recap. Then I'm going to jet off and get prepared for the game, and then also eat Manny's soup that he's got for me. All right. Unless there's someone, if you guys want to see a pass mark for someone else, let me know in the comments. Actually, no, we'll do one more player, guys. One more player. Bobby Hill. What is the pass mark today for Bobby Dazzler? Where is Bobby? Where is Bobby Hill? What is the pass mark for this man right here? Lance. G'day, Lance. I don't think I've recognized your name in the chat. G'day, mate. How are you? Great having you on. What is the pass mark today for Bobby Hill? So we've got 5 goal assists. Yep. We can do IQ. We'll do IQ after this, guys. We'll do IQ. All right. 3 goals, 3 goal assists. 3 goals by Chris. George goes 4 goals. AA187. G'day, mate. How are you? I don't think I've seen your comment today. Obviously, I know who you are. But yeah, how are you? Needs 2 as well. 2 goals, major pressure, stay forward, front and center. Manny, who is he going to be front and center for? Is it going to be Jamie Elliott or Krugz? That's why I'm saying not Krugz. Reef McInnes needed to be out there. Reef McInnes, Krugz to take the key backs. Then Bobby Hill and Jamie Elliott to go around and do their thing and slice around and be front and center. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Reef McInnes is the sub. 3 to 4 goals, 2 goals, plenty of goal assist. Boys, why don't we go Bobby Hill? We want him for 2 goals. Right? 2 goals for the man. Because we want it kind of realistic. Reasonably realistic. Let's go 3 goal assists. No. We'll go 1 goal, 2 goal assists again. But no. Either 3 score involvements. I'm changing it, boys. Bobby Hill's pass mark. 2 goals. 1 goal assist. 3 score involvements. You heard it here first. All right. That is the pass mark for Bobby Dazzler today. So, quick recap. Frampton, 2 intercept mark, 10 touches. Kind of see his impact on the game. Darcy Moore, 18 disposals, 3 intercept marks. Want to see him open and slice the game, get up the ground and attack. Reef McInnes, even though he is the sub, we want to see him for at least 1 goal. That's it, his pass mark. If he gets a hot 1 goal, I'll be absolutely chuffed. Bobby Dazzler, 2 goals, 1 goal assist, 3 score involvements. Jamie Elliott, 2 goals, 3 tackles, couple score involvements there. All right. Now, IQ, guys, give me Isaac Quaynor's pass mark for today as I give this Souvlaki a bite. What is the pass mark? What is the pass mark? George, that made me laugh. 6 is the normal pass mark, but Kev, that is huge. That is a huge call. IQ, 20 disposals, 5 intercept marks. I think IQ's highest intercept marks was that game where he got 7 intercept marks. Was it against Bulldogs? I said it the other week and I've already forgot. Let me actually see this year what is IQ's best game, and we will go from there. Do you guys think IQ will be experimented and play on the wing again? I already said it, but when he started on the wing last week, I was very chuffed. Then he got that score involved, that goal assist to Jeremy Howell very early on. I'm like, hey, this is a mastermind here. And then he did nothing. Then obviously, carrying a little bit of an injury, but we'll see. So for intercept marks, IQ's season high is 4 intercept marks. So this is going to be a huge game if you can get 4 intercept marks. I think, guys, let's go, Steph. I like that. Let's go 15 disposals for IQ. 3 intercept marks. 5 marks just around the ground, opening it up. I like that, Steph. I like that a lot. I do. That's going to be IQ's pass mark today. Is 15 disposals, 3 intercept marks, 5 marks. I like it. Steph, you're on the money. Heard it here first. Jim, gamble responsibly. All right. We do not take claim or reliability for any bets made. All right. But, all right, guys, we're doing it for an hour. If you got any more questions, I want to eat this souvlaki and I want to enjoy the game. So, hey, let's go, champ. Shama, where you been this whole time, brother? Where you been? Very close, mate, in the chat right now. But let's do a little recap, all right? And we'll focus on the points of what to look out for today. So what do we do to win, boys? Forward entry method has to be on, all right? We can't be lopping the ball up, kicking the ball 15 meters in the air, 20 meters up and under, and getting bloody snow on the ball, all right? We want that ball driven low and hard to our players and hitting Bobby Dazzler, Jamie Elliott, these guys who are quick around the ball. We need to be hitting them lace out, all right? You put some flight under that ball, there's going to be intercept marks against us, all right? Like I said, and I'll say it again, Geelong is the top team for intercept marks, all right? In the last 5 games, number 1, 20.2 intercept marks game. We're bottom 5 at 14.8. So, forward entry method today, guys, is key. Must for us to win. Secondly, our defensive structure. Geelong, second in the AFL for marks within 50. All right. So they're not like a Geelong, not Geelong. They're not like a Gold Coast where, my God, they could get the fucking footy into the forward line, but I couldn't mark the thing. Their looks inside 50 for Gold Coast was shit, right? 68 inside 50s against us. I reckon they marked the ball fucking garbage amount of times, all right? I actually think you look back at the stats, it wasn't that bad, but you get what I'm saying, right? If we do that again today against Geelong, they will hit the scoreboard. So we need to make pressure up the ground, back the system in, and force them into mistake up the ground so we can get that intercept mark play into the game. If not, we can't all just play loose. We need to know when to man up and then be really accountable. So today, pressure up the ground, be accountable to your man. Do those two things in our defensive structure will look 10 times better. Another thing, my God, if I see 3 Collingwood keys, all tall defenders, all flying at one fucking footy, I will smash my TV. All right? I do not want to see a Darcy Moore, a Frampton, and a Brazzy Maynard or an IQ all fly for one footy. I don't want to see it. If I see it and the ball goes out the back and I see it go to Cameron or one of the other forwards from Geelong, let's just say you'll be glad we're not live streaming. Okay, there will be a broken TV. All right, so that's what we need to do today. Forward entry method needs to be good, or they're going to punish us really based off those score involvements, which we saw in the score sources, where off turnovers they score 56.6 points against other teams from turnovers. So that's what we need to stop today. For us, we just need to win the ball in the center, get your Nick Dacos going, get your scout penalty, get the goals, big games from them, and get the ball forward. And let's get that forward half center bounce scores on the board. All right. So that's what we need to do today. If the ball gets into our back line, we need to really keep hounding in this defensive half. Really need to start transitioning the ball up. So that's what we need to do today, guys. Thank you for joining me in the pre-game show. I'll go away now, eat mani souvlaki. Thank you there again. And then I will, watch the game. We'll be back at, I think it's scheduled for about 10:30, 10:40. Once the game's finished, guys, I've got it for 10:40. If the game finishes a little bit before then, I'll just start the live stream and we'll get into the post-game show. Hopefully we'll come back with a good win. We're all up and about. We'll do the fan cams again and all that good stuff. And then Anthony will join us on his commute home or when he gets home post-stream as well. Chris, I want to see you in the post-game show as well. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. And I'll see you boys in the post-game show. Cheers.